something huge just came out of the Federal Reserve, and it could finally answer the question that XRP holders have been asking for years, which is when does the switch flip? I'm talking about new documents and discussions from the Fed that could open their payment rails, the very infrastructure banks rely on, to fintech and crypto firms. And if that does happen, Ripple and XRP might be the first in line. But before I break all this down, a quick mention. I just want to say that I'm using personally Bitunix, which is one of the fastest growing exchanges that I prefer personally for XRP and altcoin trading. They've got definitely solid liquidity and handle volatility like a champ. So check the link below if you want to try it out. All right, let's get into it. This week, the Federal Reserve publicly discussed granting direct access to its payment systems, known as Fed payment accounts, for approved digital asset and fintech institutions, which may sound like regulatory noise, but it's actually a really big deal because these accounts are how major banks plug directly into the Fed's real-time payment network, and opening that access to blockchain companies could definitely mark the beginning of crypto-native settlement in the US financial system. So here's where XRP comes into the picture. Ripple's executive James Wallace, who oversees central bank engagement, has said for years that Ripple has been working with the Fed and with US universities tied to the Fed's research programs. So let me quote him precisely so that you understand. He says, "We work in the US with the Fed and with several academic institutions that collaborate with the Fed on cross-border payment innovation." So that's not speculation, that's basically a Ripple executive confirming a working relationship. And now the Fed's latest policy discussion lines up almost perfectly with Ripple's long-term vision, which is using XRP's underlying technology for instant, secure settlement between banks and payment providers. Ripple's partners overlap with the FedNow service, which already includes fintech players like Finastra, ACI Worldwide, Volante, BNY Mellon, and the US Bank, many of which have directly or indirectly integrated Ripple solutions over the past few years. So according to internal estimates, Ripple's network can now reach around 1,200 plus FedNow participants, and the potential expansion includes over 10,000 US financial institutions. So that means Ripple's technology, whether through APIs, liquidity hubs, or payment corridors, could already be embedded across a huge portion of America's banking infrastructure, which is quietly running in the background. And now if you basically tie this all together to the big picture, we can see that we recently saw Ripple acquire G-Treasury and Hidden Road, expand its digital asset treasury service, and back Evernorth Holdings, which just announced a $1 billion public XRP reserve. So we can say that it's just not random. It's a coordinated expansion across every financial layer. Payments infrastructure, which is FedNow and RippleNet. And there is the corporate treasury management, which is through the G-Treasury. And there is institutional trading and liquidity, which is Hidden Road. So then there is the digital custody and reserves with Evernorth plus the standard custody. So we can say it's like Ripple is quietly assembling every building block of the next financial operating system. So one that's blockchain based and compliant, and also interoperable with central bank networks. And yet the market still hasn't priced this in. XRP trades under $3 while Bitcoin dominates headlines, but long-term, XRP's design and partnerships make it far more useful to the financial system itself. So look, whether you've held XRP for years or you're just starting to pay attention to it, this is definitely one of those moments where the puzzle pieces actually start to fit. So we don't know obviously the exact day or hour the flip the switch moment happens, but what the Fed announced this week definitely makes it clear, which is that the rails are being built for it to happen. So if you found this breakdown helpful, definitely hit that like button and tell me in the comments what you think about all this. Will the Federal Reserve's new payment framework be the turning point for Ripple and XRP? And yeah, don't forget to check out Bitunix, as I said, using the link below if you want a secure platform to trade XRP when the next big wave hits. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.